Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and thank you for taking the time to watch this video. This is another deck review that I will be doing for you, and I'm going back to doing the learning decks. I have been doing the deck reviews on mostly oracle decks or self-help decks, but I thought today I'd go back to doing this learning deck. And today I've decided to do the Tarot Made Easy by Barbara Moore and Eugene Smith. This is a Rider-Waite clone deck, and it is a great place to start if you're planning on learning the tarot. This is the deck that I would use if I was starting off brand new into the tarot. It's also a great deck to use if you're just brushing up on your tarot. So this is a tarot kit. It comes with a deck and a book, and the deck being the Llewellyn Classic Tarot, and the book is being written by Barbara Moore, who is like a giantess in the tarot world. She's done loads of decks, and she's written loads of books, and her insights are really very, very invaluable and very easy to actually read them, and you can identify them with them quite easily as well. So the kit itself comes in a box that is really, really well made, very sturdy. It's sort of a grayish kind of box with a magnetic clasp on the closure point. Excuse me. It's got what's the deck about on the back of the box itself, with a few pictures, and it's really easy to store. You want something that could withstand being shifted all around the place, and going through the bit of a mill. So that's really nicely done. And it comes with a book, which is a 216-page book, written by Barbara Moore, and then it comes with the deck. It's got a nice little tab here that you can lift the cards out of the box, and the deck itself, I said, was the Llewellyn Classic Tarot. That's been illustrated by Eugene Smith. So we'll just look at the book quickly. So it gives you a little bit about Barbara Moore in the back of the box, and as well as her picture there. And it's a grayish sort of covered book, it's got about 8 chapters in the book itself. So you've got 8 chapters telling you everything that you need to know about the tarot itself. So it gives you a little insight into the tarot, what it is about, and then it speaks about the different cards. It gives you little bits about the mages, little keywords that are going in, and reverse meanings as well. And then it goes into the a little bit about clarifiers. It speaks about the court cards as well. And then he speaks about the numerology, which is very, very interesting. Very, very interesting to read up on numerology while you're doing cards. And then a little bit about the spreads itself. So this is one of the spreads that they do, the Celtic cross spread. This is the spread this is my go-to spread, actually. So then then you go into the minor arcana, and what is nice about it is that it starts off with the aces. So it lays out the 4 aces here. It's got little black and white pictures here, which are big enough for you to actually see, and then it goes through each and every one of those aces and tells you a bit about the aces itself. So it goes through the minor arcana all the way through to the 10s. In that kind of way. See, there's the 10s all laid out over here, and then it approaches each 10 individually. And then it deals with the court cards, telling you about each of the court cards. The queens, it discusses the knights, the queens, the kings, and the pages in that similar sort of way. And then it goes into the major arcana, which discusses each and every single card in the major arcana. And then it ends off with spreads and a few little extras. So 2 extra spreads given over there that you can read, and it just tells you about difficult cards that you will be dealing with and how to practice as well. So it's a really, really good book, and it covers a lot in the book itself. It's something that you can really get your hooks into. It's also got little tables here that just give you quick meanings of cards as well. So you can even maybe photocopy these and keep them with you, so that you just can just look at it quickly. That you can keep in your pocket for sure. But the book itself it's I think too large to put into your pocket unless you have a really big pocket. So it's something that you do have to sit down and look at. But it's so easy to actually go through, and it makes it so approachable that it'll make it. You get through the book, I'm sure, very quickly itself. So it's not a difficult book to read, and the writing is a pretty reasonable size. So you won't be squinting at things over here. So a really very complete book. And a really good resource to be using if you to keep after you've read through it, to refer back to. Now the cards themselves, they come as a standard size cards. They fit really nicely into the palm. They're a reasonable cardstock, not too thick. Maybe a little more care being taken with these cards because they're not that thick. They could end up bending if you are very, very if you handle them badly. Actually, so they've got a sort of a matte kind of finish to it, and they've got a blue background with these roses, and I think these are lilies on the back of it. The colors of the cards on the front of the cards are really nice and vibrant. I really love the way he's colored it. It's very beautiful, and the facial expressions are really good. So reading them is really easy because you can see what the facial expressions are. So that's important. Also, the symbology on the cards itself is so much like the Rider-Waite system. There are a few variations, but it's got all the essentials of the Rider-Waite cards. So, you're not missing out at all. It covers all its bases very nicely. And in beautiful, beautiful, vibrant colors. So I'll just go through these cards quickly. You've got the Fool, the Magician. This is the High Priestess, and you can see you've got all the elements that are there that are necessary, and maybe a little bit more to just add and enhance your reading. It's got more water in the back over there that you don't really see, with the Rider-Waite deck. And that's the Empress, the Emperor. You can see he looks pretty angry, pretty mean in this deck. And you've got the Hierophant, the Lovers, the Chariot, the Strength card, the Hermit, the Wheel of Fortune, Justice, the Hanged Man, Death. Now here Death doesn't have a horse, but you can see him coming in. You've got the 4 people there, so it's got all the elements of the Rider-Waite system. Death, Temperance, the Devil, the Tower, the Star. And these are almost borderless. You can see just a little border at the bottom, and it's done in a blue, so you can hardly notice the border. So it's really nicely done. This is the Moon, the Sun, Judgment, and the World. So going into the Minor Arcana, you've got the Ace of Cups, the 2 of Cups, the 3 of Cups, the 4 of Cups, the 5 of Cups. This is really nice that it emphasizes the bridge and this house so clearly. It's not really emphasized in the Rider-Waite system. It's almost in the distance there. But it shows you that there's something, if you cross that bridge, you'll have something worth going for. You've got the 6 of Cups, the 7 of Cups, the 8 of Cups, the 9 of Cups, and the 10 of Cups. What I like is it gives you a little extra than the Rider-Waite, so you can actually tap into that. You've got the Page of Cups, the Knight of Cups, the Queen of Cups, and the King of Cups. Then you've got the Ace of Swords, the 2 of Swords, the 3 of Swords, the 4 of Swords, the 5 of Swords, the 6 of Swords, the 7 of Swords, the 8 of Swords, the 9 of Swords, the 10 of Swords, your Page of Swords, the Knight of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and the King of Swords. Then you've got the Ace of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles, the Three of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, you can see him working pretty hard there, the Nine of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles. They're very clear images, if you can see. There's no ambiguity about the images itself. And you've got the Ace of Wands, the Two of Wands, the Three of Wands, the Four of Wands, the Five of Wands, the Six of Wands, Seven of Wands, Eight of Wands, Nine of Wands, and he looks pretty miserable here. You can see the facial expressions are really good there. Ten of Wands, Page of Wands, the Knight of Wands, Queen of Wands, the cat, and the King of Wands. So really, it's got all the imagery of the Rider-Waite, a little bit more, that allows you to read. Is much more, it's easier to actually read that. Even this card with him offering this little girl flowers with the Six of Cups, you can see all the different barriers. You can see the house there, the garden, So really, really beautifully done. And very, very simple. It's not complicated, and you're not having to search too deeply for the imagery. It just comes out at you, so you can see the symbology quite easy. And I think the fact that it's almost borderless with just this little border at the bottom just makes the cards. It just opens up the cards for you and makes it looks much more professional, rather than having lots and lots of borders, and that seems to hinder a lot of people as well. And they're nicely cut, the cards, so you don't have to go around cutting off borders as well for the cards. And they're reasonable card stock. I don't think that they're too thin. I think they're okay, and they shuffle pretty easily as well in the hand. So they slide quite well as well. Depending on which way you shuffle it. So they're pretty good, pretty easy to actually shuffle, and a nice size to actually have as well. And the colors, I said, are really, really vibrant. It's bringing out the Wands color here with the reds. And you can see it does bring out the colors of the cards beautifully within the suits itself. Very, very nice imagery. And it's all based on the Rider-Waite system, so you're not going to have that much of a problem learning on this deck as well. So I hope that you have enjoyed this deck, and I hope that you do give it a go. Like I said, Barbara Moore writes really, really well, and it's a good place to actually start. And since this has been put into a nice kit, and it is tarot made easy, it is a really easy way to start learning the tarot. After that you can go for the most difficult esoteric decks that you want to, but this is a really good place to start. It's a good place to get your teeth into the tarot and learn it. Especially if you're very fascinated by it, and it doesn't look like the Rider-Waite deck, so it's quite different but the same in a sense. So I hope that you have enjoyed watching this deck review, and I shall put the deck as well as links to Amazon and eBay in the description box, so you can buy them from those two sites. And please leave me some feedback as to whether you've enjoyed this, and please watch the rest of the deck reviews that I've done. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave me some comments. Thank you so much. Goodbye.